FA Youth Cup action again. Give us an idea of the sense of this competition for the young lads, because it is a big game, isn't it, for them?
Yeah, we've actually got a good week. We play we're at Brighton, who are I think are third or fourth in the league on Saturday. We then obviously got Man United in the FA Youth Cup, and then we're in the quarter final of the Premier League Cup on Saturday against Stoke. So it's a good week for the lads. Good test. They're fully aware of it, and I think they're ready to go.
Yeah, and an interesting tie as well, because it's Manchester United and everything that comes with that. Obviously, a club that takes so much pride in its academy, doesn't it? I mean, we saw on Saturday Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford to be two players that have profited from that and have played in this competition. So, and Max Aarons and Adam Edu, I suppose, from a Norwich perspective. So it goes to show that this competition is useful for development, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I think it's a game that doesn't normally happen. To be fair to the two sets of players, they generally play on a training ground at 11 o'clock on the Saturday. It's going to be at our stadium. It's Man United. I'm pretty sure it'll be on television, broadcast by themselves. And it'll be a big game for both clubs. It's an FA Cup tie, and it's a good tie as well. I think both clubs will look at it and think they can progress into the next round. So it's a proper game. It'll certainly bring one or two of our supporters out to watch it, and I think there'll be a few more on the gates, and I think it's a good way for everyone to see some of the young players perform.
And you mentioned there about the players being exposed to the crowd. It's also nice for the supporters to be exposed to the 18s, isn't it? I think that's a dynamic that perhaps more supporters don't get to see that team. So for those supporters who don't usually come out, what can they expect to see from this 18 side?
At the moment, a lot of goals. We do concede a lot as well, but now they're in good form. I think the key to all of these games is that our under 23s will play on Friday, our under 18s will play Saturday. Half of the team is going to play on Friday, half the team will play Saturday. So it'll all come together sort of Monday for Tuesday night. I always think with the FA Youth Cup, it's a chance for our supporters to get a feel of someone. So I know when obviously Adam got his hat-trick against Preston a week ago, they'd already seen him score a hat-trick against Barnsley in the Youth Cup. So some people can sort of remember seeing him, and so they're not surprised when they burst on the scene. So you listen to the national media talking about this new lad and where's he come from. I think Adam was not a surprise to our supporter. They're probably just looking at it and going, we've got this young lad in the background, I wonder when he's going to get his chance. And some come through like Adam did and play the other week, and some don't, but they always got a feel for them. So I think it's important for our supporters to see the lads.
It helps the affiliation with the players as well. I suppose if they've seen him on that stage, to then do it in the FA Cup probably makes a player seem a bit more personal to supporters. Yeah,
we're a good club for that though. I mean, maybe because we're so far away from the next club, there is a genuine interest in our youth players. It's everyone seems to know everything about the club rather than be just about the first team. So there's a thirst for knowledge here about the young players. We're constantly getting asked for what's going on. That is a genuine thing from the club, and the club are very keen to promote young players, and obviously the academy. So I think there's both ways. So there's a thirst from both sides really to want to inform and for another part to get the information. So it's a really good partnership really, and we do expect a reasonably good crowd there.
And more special at the moment, I suppose, given the events of the first team and the players that are in that, because there are 4 academy graduates, I suppose 5 if you chuck Ida in there as well. So for supporters, I suppose it is a real glimpse into the future, isn't it, with some of these players? Yeah,
and I think the really important bit is that those lads that have played in the first team are doing well. We can't say that. It's a difficult season. It's always going to be playing in the Premier League, but I think the key is that have all our young players enhanced themselves. Not just the lads that have come through the academy, but some of the younger ones that have come in from outside. I think they've proven that they add value to the Premier League, and that's the important bit. It's great playing, but you've got to add value to the team, and you've got to be in the team. And I think some of the lads that have played have done that, and which is great. You've got to go and perform.
And you mentioned obviously 4 academy graduates started at Old Trafford. How special is that for you guys and the work you do in the academy when you see something like that?
Yeah, it's funny. It's great. Listen, to be fair, because you get the sort of the plaudits, but we kind of moved on really. I mean, Adam's been gone a while now, so you're looking. I think the key is it's great. It's great success. It's great for the kids, but they're with Daniel. They're like their first team players now. So as good as it is for the academy, you've got to move on. And I think the key is that we really need the next ones to come through. So Adam's had a good start, which is great, but now he's got to go and play 40, 50, 60 games, that's when we turn around. So the next thing is he knows now that he can play at first team level, which is the key. I think the first time you go and play well, you get a chance to know that you can do it, which is a big thing for a young player. Now he's got to go and prove that he can do it consistently, and that's the next stage for him, you know. But Adam's been gone, I say, for a little while now, so you know, he's one for Daniel. We're looking at the next one, and I think that's for us to be successful. That's how we've got to be thinking. Great debut. Thanks very much. See you later. Let's move on to the next one, and hopefully we've got more to follow after, you know.
And in terms of Adam, he's an interesting one because obviously he played at Crawley in a defeat that was quite tough, and then obviously got the elation of Preston. For a young player, what's it like having those two experiences?
I've got to say it's a real strength of Daniel. You know, I know quite a few managers after Crawley might not have put, you know, but he's clever enough to realise the team didn't play very well. You know, he's clever enough so it wasn't down to Adam, you know, so, but he also sees the potential of a young player and he'll stick with it, you know. So, you know, Adam wasn't an overnight success, and he's still got a long way to go, but, you know, the real strength of Daniel is he sticks with people, you know, and I think, look at all the lads in the first team is, you know, it took time to bed in, probably apart from Max. Max kind of came in and, you know, was a bit of a force really, and we couldn't stop him, but, you know, I'm not sure we would have predicted Todd to have scored 6 goals in the Premier League, say 18 months ago, you know. But I think that's a great credit to Daniel. But bit by bit, he's made him better and better, and now he's thriving. Same with Todd, Jamal. As I say, hopefully Adam can emulate that, but he's got to get 30, 40, 50 games yet before he can start to say that.
I think a byproduct of a team playing young players is that they get linked away, don't they, pretty quickly, particularly when it's a club like this. What's it like when you see Max Aaron's perhaps getting linked with some of the biggest clubs in the country for eye-watering for fees? What's that like for you as a coach and a developer of youth? Is that something that
probably better for him?
You a little bit?
No, not at all. No. I think we're a self-financing club, you know, and I got to say the success of us will be that we get to a position where people want to buy our players. As simple as that. So it's. I think for clubs of our size, I think we're always going to be at the mercy of the bigger clubs. I think I've said this since day one. Is the ideal situation is that we don't take lads on loan from the big clubs unless they're, you know, senior players. We're not taking another 17, 18-year-old to play in our first team, which has happened since we've been here. You know, and if some of the lads are doing that well, that they're getting a little bit of credit, then brilliant. If any of those lads leave, it's because they perform to a standard that those big clubs want. So that's it's certainly not a backward step from our side. It's actually quite a fillet for the academy. If one was to go, great. If they stay, great. You know, but that's a first team issue. Nothing to do with us.
Absolutely, but I suppose it's part and parcel, isn't it? When you have a youth system that's connected with the first team, you have that conveyor belt that ultimately you will get some that outgrow the club.
Oh yeah, well that's that's part and parcel of why we're here. I think the success of the academy is going to be if people want our players, and that's the key. So at the moment, whether it's speculation or not, it seems to be that there's a bit of interest because of the way that they've played. Listen, the lads have earned that themselves. They've done really well. So if any of that sort of happens, then that's something for them to decide with the club and thing. But we're pleased that they're doing that well, that they're being linked with the big clubs.
And for this current crop of 18s, how much do they look up to those players in the first team and that pathway? Because it's individual for every player, obviously, but the fact they've got some people to look up to and say, okay, they've been on the journey that I want to go on. How big is that?
I think opportunity is massive in anything that you do. When you feel that you can't go anywhere, it can be a real inhibitor to performance. It's a football club that we don't pay the most money. We don't do a lot of the things that maybe other people do, but what we do is give opportunity. So there's no one here. Josh gets a hat trick against Newcastle. He's then spent 2 weeks training with the first team. That's what it is. Daniel's keen to look at him and see where he's going. So that's what this place is all about, and everyone sees that. We've had other lads train with the first team over the last 2 or 3 weeks. They see Adam. I think people thrive off opportunity, and I think there's a lot of clubs that don't provide opportunity. And we're one of those clubs that do that, and I think the lads sort of enjoy being here.
You mentioned opportunity. How big is confidence for young players? Obviously, we saw it in Adam in the first team recently at Preston, but also for those players on Tuesday night to perform with confidence and perform with bravery on the ball. How important is that?
Oh, listen, it's vital. Whether we're going to get it, I'm not sure, because there's loads of things for those young lads that are not used to. it's just different. The games, I think, it's going to be televised live for MUTV. There's going to be probably a bigger crowd, which is really important for their development. I couldn't sit in front of you now and say who's going to play well, who's not, and there's always surprises, and that's the key to it. All that we do know is we look forward to the game, and we'll go and attack it. We'll go and play. It's going to be a good football match because both teams play open, expansive football, and normally in these sort of games there's normally plenty of goals. So I do think it's one of those games that I know it's Manchester United, but I certainly don't think that we're fearful of them as like they're like us. They'll know it's a tough game, and we know it's a tough game, one in which we're capable of winning, but also they're capable of beating us. So it'll be a good game.
And just finally, we obviously touched on the support earlier, but how crucial is it to those young lads, particularly given the calibre of opponents that they're up against, that they do get a good crowd through the door to support?
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be really good for the kids to play in front of a load of supporters. And there's a thirst for the games here. We promoted it a little bit more, I think, than maybe Newcastle. We give out free tickets, so expecting certainly a bigger crowd. And the club has a history of heavily supporting sort of young players at Carrow Road. So we always have more than the average anyway, but I'm expecting quite a large crowd on Tuesday because we promoted it and we want as many people to come.